I'm going to do the briefing lecture for assignment 2, which is set as of now. Some of you have actually started to look at this already. Assignment 2 is about doing 3 specific tasks. It is analysing a Harvard case study. You get a choice between 2. And it is writing a summary of that case study in your own words. Note, each of the case studies has a number of experts, has a number of opinions. I do not want you restating their opinions. I want your opinions. It is an analysis, not a description that is required. Can't stress that more strongly. A lot of you lost marks on the first assignment because you described, you reinterpreted, you didn't analyse. Restating what is said in an article is not analysis. Understanding what it means and stating what it means is analysis. You have an entire paper on Moodle on how to analyse the case study. If you had problems with the first assignment, I suggest you read it before you start this. It is then about picking a business and giving a brief summary of that business. The third assignment is then taking the key points from your case study and applying them to that business. In other words, what do they mean for that business in context? Okay, so you have a choice between 2 case studies. It is a group assignment. Groups are 2 to 3 members, and 2 to 3 members only. I am prepared to look at groups larger than that, but I must have a compelling reason to allow it. We all speak the same language is not a compelling reason, as far as I'm concerned. That 1 or 2 of you have educational issues is. That you are co-located is. But I need a real reason, okay? Now, all 4 of us are mates and we live together isn't, although I'll consider that under the circumstances. Note, within School of Management rules, we are allowed to penalise groups that do not have permission to be too large, and we have permission to penalise individual submissions. Again, I'm happy to think about individual submissions, but I need you to send me the reason why you want to do it on your own. This isn't just because we're being picky, it's because the amount of word count we're ascribing to this is deliberately designed to be for a group of 2 or 3. So it is too easy if there are more than 3 of you, it is too hard if there is only 1 of you. And we don't want to disadvantage anybody without them actually walking into it with their eyes open. You have a couple of weeks to sort yourselves into groups. If you think you're going to have a problem sorting yourself into a group after that time, please email me and I will do my best to pair people up. I will do that for a couple more weeks. After that time, you are on your own. The idea behind this is to get you into the habit of forming groups for your 3rd year work, where a lot of it is group assignments of one form or another. Okay, so start to pair up. Probably a good idea to try and pair up with people who are on the same sort of degree pathway. It is a report or essay style. Okay, so bullet points, tables, etc. You can use them, but we're looking for a narrative, a more normal piece of academic writing. It has a 2,000 word limit plus the 10% you are allowed without penalty, so that is 2,200 words. If it is over that, it will lose marks. If it is more than 20% over that, it will be given a 0 grade. are the university rules. You do not fool us by not putting your word count on your work. You put it in through Turnitin. Turnitin counts the words. You were all let off on the first assignment. You will not be let off on the second assignment. Writing to a word count is a skill you are going to have to develop. So start getting used to it, because you will be penalised in future. Please see the notes on referencing. There were very few people who got it right. You must have references to literature. Having all examples from corporate context is not a good idea on an academic degree. We want references to theory, and that means you need to read things other than Philip Kotler or Jobber. You need to reference to Rees and Trout. You need to reference to Aker. You need to reference to Borden and McCarthy and everybody else who's developed different bits of theory that are published in Philip Kotler's books. The closing date is Thursday, the 7th of March. You know the time it has to be handed in. Anyone who hands it in late is likely to be penalised unless they have a really good reason. My alarm clock didn't work. My phone didn't work. Is not a good excuse. Neither is my computer crashed. You are expected to keep backups of your work. You have a little thing now called the cloud that allows you to back documents up online so you can actually access them from anywhere. If you read the university rules, failure of any piece of hardware is not an excuse for handing it in late. My train was involved in a major incident. I was in a car crash. I was delayed on the M25 or whatever. Will be considered a reasonable excuse, but we will need evidence to support that. We're not heartless. If it's outside your control, it's outside your control. But you control how many alarm clocks you have. You control what you use to wake yourself up in the morning. And yes, I did have at least 5 excuses like this for the first piece of assignment work. You need to select from one of these two. And the first is by Thomas Davenport and Gene Harris, The Dark Side of Customer Analytics, which was published in May 2007, or Nunes and Briggs, What Serves the Customer Best, which was published in October 2006. You can access the cases directly from HBR using Business Source Premier and the other software they have in the library, but I have also posted PDF versions of both case studies directly underneath this assignment brief on Moodle. I suggest you read both carefully a couple of times before you decide which one to choose. Each case study has a very similar format in that it focuses on a dilemma in marketing that is from the contemporary business world. The names of the companies have been confused, usually in an HBR case study, deliberately. When you are analysing a case study, you are analysing what is in it. Please do not go looking for contemporary information on the companies. That isn't what a case study is about unless it specifically asks you to do that in the questions. This doesn't. You are analysing what is on the pages in front of you, not the current context, not what has happened since. Think of it like a case study in an exam. You wouldn't have the wherewithal to go and analyse contemporary issues. You can only comment on what's been published. That's what we're looking for, just comments on what's been published. So what do you need to do? You have to undertake a thorough analysis of the marketing issues raised in the case study and apply them to the planning of a business of your choice. That means that you have to thoroughly analyse the case study. Outside research into the business, in terms of how those points fit to the business, yes. Contemporary updating of the research, no. Is everybody clear? Okay, I don't want you to go off and finding out what the company is, because 2 years ago, we had people spending lots of time bringing things up to date and they actually missed the point of the case study. If it is going to help you understand the case studies, do research into the markets that the company is operating in. So you're familiar with the competition, you're familiar with how those companies do their marketing. But that is the extent to which I want you to do that. It is to familiarise yourself with the market. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to use all the analytical tools that you believe are relevant. But any analysis in this context should go into an appendix, because you only have 2,000 words to fulfill the exact requirement of the assignment. An appendix demonstrates that you've done the research, that you've done the analysis, but it will not be marked. An appendix is for supplementary background information, not for something